Hi guys, hope that you're having a wonderful day. My name is Robin. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching these videos. Please click the thumbs up button if you like these videos. Feel free to comment, ask questions. I am doing this video on Theta Healing. What is Theta Healing and how does it work? Because I'm doing a $20 special from March 1st until March 8th, 2020, and I'm doing it over the phone for 1 hour, and I want people to understand what it is. It can be quite complicated to explain, so I thought maybe I would just even channel some information in terms of how I can find proper ways to explain this to the people that need these answers. So it's interesting because I already have a card here talking about grounding, shielding, and it says void. But a big thing is, like, I teach many different tools. So often when you come for an in-person session, which is an hour and a half, those are for my hands-on clients, but often we will still do some theta healing. So that's why I'm explaining some of this. And so just as important as it is to do things like get hands-on healing, it's still just as important to do the non-touch, because we're working with body, mind, spirit, okay? So what the Obsidian card here is kind of talking about, the reason why I'm discussing this is because often what Theta Healing's helping you with is releasing things that no longer serve you. So someone was asking me, so does this help with anxiety? And absolutely, it can help you with anxiety. Everything I do can help with anxiety and stress, because essentially this is just an energy that you're carrying with you. And so Theta Healing is really, really great because it's not only helping us with the mental, with our thoughts, and getting clear on where our mental health needs to be, but it's also helping us with our physical body as well, because it's going to help us feel more confident. It's going to help us feel balanced emotionally, because we're going to feel like there's hope and a light at the end of the tunnel based on the fact that we're choosing not to hang on to this energy any longer, okay? So I hope that that makes sense. Let's pull up some other cards. It helps me as well when I work with my cards. Okay, same thing came up, which is so funny. So a big thing is Theta is a form of healing art, okay? So I do different types. And so this is saying that we're often, like, we're working on a strategy. So say anxiety is your main thing. So I just had someone say, I have anxiety and I need peace. Okay, perfect. So we'll pick anxiety first, and I'll ask, okay, so what is it about this anxiety that's not serving you, right? What is it that you don't like about it? Well, I feel uncomfortable in my skin. Okay, I feel uncomfortable physically in my body. I get sweaty, and I don't like it. It's embarrassing. Okay, so right there is a huge handful of things that I, as the practitioner, I'm the one that goes into theta, brainwave. And so this is, you don't have to do anything. You just have to be in a meditative state. So when I'm calling you over the phone, then you are going to be in a place where you can actually be able to focus on what I'm saying and focusing on yourself as well. So you want to be in a place that's quiet, a place that's safe. And when you come in person, I'm providing that for you. So I might be offering a nice massage while I'm doing this theta as well, okay? So that's completely up to you in terms of how you structure that. So now we kind of have like a rough idea of like what our focus is, okay? So interesting. So a bunch of cards are coming up here now that we have our focus. So I'm just going to pick this one. It says comfort and forgiveness. So I was just talking about being comfortable when you're doing your theta healing, all right? I have to be and you have to be. So we're both getting in that meditative state. Now, obviously, if you have anxiety, that might be difficult for you. So I would suggest closing your eyes. So rather than getting into the story, because when we have our eyes open, it's like we're going into our judgment, into our natural thoughts, And we want to get out of our natural thoughts, right? Because that's kind of how we've gotten into this predicament. What we want to do is be able to close our eyes and be able to access what our body is telling us, what our mind is actually is telling us, why we're feeling this way. Okay, so I'm going to ask you questions, and you're just going to answer them first thing that kind of comes to your mind. All right. So that's the first step. You're getting comfortable. This says Source, Divinity, Enlightenment, okay? And what this is saying is that I'm going into Theta and I'm accessing the energy that I need to help you release that belief, that limiting belief, or that feeling or that thought that you're hanging on to, okay? This is something that's buried very deep within you, and you might not be aware that it's even there. And so that's the beautiful thing about this, is the reason why it's talking about Source is that when you're able to be open and honest during your session of whatever comes to your mind, that's perfect, because what's going to happen is it has to line up energetically with what I'm also accessing in my theta brainwave when I'm in that energy. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So we both have to be in tune. You're saying a word that you feel, and then I'm going to actually try to match that vibration and say, I do connect to like that vibration, that's a real feeling that you feel. It's not the story that you're telling me. It's really, there's a deep feeling in there that makes sense, okay? Because that's the whole point, is you're telling a story, but then there's also like a feeling attached to it. So it might be, yes, I have anxiety, I get embarrassed when I'm stressed, it's hard for me to socialize. So when you're saying that, right, that's your thing. But when I ask you a question such as, okay, when was the first time you felt this anxiety or this feeling of energy just overwhelming you and coming over, your chest, that sort of thing? Then it's up to you to, again, close your eyes and access that. And you could say, well, it's when I was 5 years old and my father wasn't present in my life and I knew he wasn't coming back into my life. Okay, that was the first time I got this feeling. That's open and vulnerable and being honest, right? It's okay if that's not like your first feeling. It's the first memory that you have as you're trying to access that old stuff. The reason why it's gotten in there in the first place, right? So I'm, as a practitioner, trying to release that for you, okay? So, so then we have flexibility and adaptability. As I was saying, you have to be open when we're working with this energy. Often what will happen is when people start to feel a little bit upset, or they're feeling sad, or they're feeling angry, or there's some form of emotion, it could be defensive. If you are feeling this way, that is normal, that is healthy, because you're bringing back some of that energy, because it's a little bit uncomfortable. But it's okay, because once you release that and overcome that and you open up that way energetically to the truth and to the feelings that are going to help you, it's gonna get better. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is, as a practitioner, I'm gonna say, okay, so would you like to release this this anxiety, this panic attack feeling as you describe it to me? You have to confirm, yes, those are the words, those are the feelings that you want to release. And feeling, maybe it was abandoned or neglected when you were a child, the fear of the unknown, of my father not coming back into my life, all of those uncomfortable emotions. And when you say yes to that, we're also going to be aware that you are looking for peace, okay? Maybe you're also looking for love. Maybe you're looking for not just peace, but the feelings of support and comfort from others when you're feeling uncomfortable. Maybe it's not easy for you to, when it comes to relationships, things like that, as a result of this. So we're going to release that feeling, and we're going to replace it with feelings maybe of trust, feelings of peace, feelings of closure, feelings of acceptance, maybe self-love, all of that. And if you agree that these are things that you would like into your life as the practitioner, I'm going to agree to helping you through source, through being in the theta brainwave. I'm going to ask for that to be released for you. And often I will release that for myself because there may be some things in myself that also need to be released. And then I'm going to put that download in, and it will essentially, with your acceptance, begin to shift your vibration because you're becoming aware and you're becoming more conscious of what's been stuck in there. Not only that, but we're also opening ourselves up to some things that we would like to have. And so that's where resolution comes in, problem solving. So it's like, aha, we're having those moments where we realize, okay, this is what's been going on. And so there is work that comes in with this, because as we start to accept the way that it is and become aware of things, then all of a sudden we're completely changing and new things are coming in. And so this might be a different frequency than you're used to. And that's a good thing. So if you're open to doing some of the work that comes in with this, it starts to change you, and you become appreciative and you become grateful for the solutions, etc. Okay? Boundaries and caution, this card says. So this is kind of like, okay, so we do this and you agree to it, and then what's going to come up is there's something else, there's another layer. Okay, so you say that you want this and you agree to it, but maybe it's like, okay, I say that I want self-love, and when as a practitioner I ask for that to come in, there's something like blocking you from receiving that download, that acceptance of self-love. Okay, so why do I could ask you, well, I'm feeling like when it comes to self-love that there's a reason why maybe you don't feel like you're worthy of love, okay? And then it's like you might say even like, I feel like I love myself. And I could say, okay, but if I'm still in that theta energy, I might feel like there's at a 90% level you love yourself, but there's a 10%. So I might ask you, okay, is there maybe even 10% of maybe where you're feeling like you're not fully loving yourself, or someone else isn't fully loving you the way you want to be loved, and it's hurting you, or something like that. It could be circumstantial, right? It could be a relationship that's not serving you. And then you might say, well, actually, I'm feeling strong in myself, but it's really hard on me when my significant other or partner is being really hard on themselves. Okay, so it might come up that it's related to some external things. It could be that your mother or father is in their elder years and it's hard on you that they're not doing well, right? So maybe you're feeling guilty or shameful that you're not able to take care of them, and you're hurting because someone else is hurting. All right, so then we would also release any guilt that you might have, or any feelings of being trapped as a result of maybe not feeling like you can be yourself or live your life the way you want to, or whatever it is, right? So there's going to be different circumstances, and that's where it becomes like different than what you may have expected, but you're still going to you're gonna like take it and you're gonna move forward with it. All right, so it's something that we do in steps depending on where you are, and you have to just be open to that experience. And often when we have health issues, things like that, this can be really helpful because we start to understand and identify with where some of that energy might be coming from, and it's a possibility that some of this can start some of it can start implementing in your life where you become really more balanced, I guess, because that's what you're working towards. And we all have different situations and circumstances that we're working towards. So in a nutshell, that's kind of how it works. If you don't experience it, it's not the same thing. All I can do is do my best. And where I've only been doing this for a certain length of time, I'm still new in terms of how I can educate people on this. So that's why I'm doing my $20 deal from the 1st until the 8th. So maybe you can experience this for yourself. this might come in instantly. It might come in over the next couple months. And so be open to how your life starts to shift and how you start to grow, okay? But there's always like positive changes that can come in if you are willing to accept the new and invite the new in as you release the old. So it's about a clearing and a cleansing experience for yourself. All right, take care and feel free to watch some of my other videos. I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Robin's Healing. Take care. Bye for now.